So in this video, we're going to talk about Fermat's little theorem. And this theorem, if you have heard of it, it's a really famous theorem and a well-used theorem in number theory. So this video is pretty important because it shows you what the theorem is, and it's also going to show you how this rule can be usefully applied in many number theory problems. And this video is going to require some basic knowledge of modular arithmetic. So I strongly recommend you, if you're not familiar with modular arithmetic, to go to the modular arithmetic series videos in the number theory playlist and gain some basic knowledge on modular arithmetic before you look at this video about Fermat's little theorem. So Fermat's little theorem states that. So we're going to look at what the theorem is first. So Fermat's little theorem, and its abbreviation is written as FLT, where the L is a lowercase l. And the FLT with an uppercase L is Fermat's last theorem, but that will be in other videos. So Fermat's little theorem, FLT, states that if P is a number that is prime, and A is a number that is not a multiple of P, then by Fermat's little theorem, a to the power of p minus 1 is congruent to 1 modulo p. And so yeah, that's Fermat's little theorem. And it doesn't look that, so it's a pretty interesting theorem actually. And there are various proofs for this theorem, there are various ways to prove this theorem, but most of them are really advanced, and so I'll show you the proof in another video next time in the number theory playlist. So let's first check if this theorem actually works. So for example, let's say, so P can be any prime, let's say 5, and A can be any number that is not a multiple of 5, which can be 3. And so let's follow this formula. So 3 to the power p minus 1, which is 3 to the power 4. And modulo 5. So let's see what this is congruent to, mod 5. So 3 to the power 4. I'll leave some space here actually. Yeah. Modulo 5. So 3 to the power 4 is equal to 81. And 81 has a remainder 1 when divided by 5, because 5 times 16 is equal to 80. So 81 is congruent to 1 mod 5. Therefore, 3 to the power 4 is congruent to 1 mod 5, which verifies FLT. So yeah, we can see that it works, but how can we use this rule in number theory problems, or in a lot of math problems? So yeah, if you have watched the third video of the modular arithmetic series in the number theory playlist, then you will kind of have an idea of how this can be used, and the technique that was used in the third video of the modular arithmetic series is actually called power towers. I actually didn't mention it in that video, but yeah, it's called power towering or something. And yeah, we're gonna do the same thing here again using this formula. Yeah, so I'll just give you a problem first as an example. So 25, so let's say we want to find the remainder when 25 to the 51 is divided by 11. Okay, wait. 25 to the 51 mod 11. We want to see what the remainder is. So, yeah, firstly, I strongly recommend you to pause the video and have a go at this problem first before I go over the solution. So the solution is, so firstly we can observe that it's a similar structure to this, because 11 is a prime, so the modulo is a prime, and this number here is not a multiple of 11. So we can see that we can kind of use this formula to find a solution for this congruence. So let's set A to 25 then, and P to 11. So by FLT, 25 to the power of, 25 to the power of, so 25 to the power of P minus 1, which is 11 minus 1, which is equal to 10. So 25 to the power of 10 is congruent to 1 modulo, actually wait, I need to leave some space here so that it's congruent to 1 mod 11 by FLT. But how does this relate to, how is this going to lead to this? We're going to use the rules of modular arithmetic. So we want to get this number as close as possible to this number. So we found like a basis for finding the residue when this is divided by 11. So we're going to just keep towering up the exponent up to this number, if you know what I mean. So, and this is because in modular arithmetic, you can set both sides of the congruence equation to the same power and it won't affect the results. So we can set both sides to the power of 5 because, and we're setting it to the power of 5 because 50 is the smallest, is the largest multiple of 10 that is smaller than or equal to 51. And therefore we'll set it, we're trying to make this number as close as possible to this. So again, we have to set this to the power of 5 again. And this gives us 25 to the power of 50 is congruent to 1 to the power of 5 is just 1 mod 11. And so we're really close to this number. And then again, we're reminded that in modular arithmetic, you can multiply the same number to both sides, again, in the congruence equation. So to get from here to here, we can just multiply 25. We can just multiply 25 to the power of 1 to get from 25 to the power of 50 to this. So we get, if we multiply 25 on both sides, we get 25 to the power of 51 is congruent to 1 times 25, which is equal to 25. And mod 11, I'll just write it down here because there's no space. We're going to do another problem here. And 25, when divided by 11, it's, to simplify it further, it's congruent to 14 mod 11. Actually, no. It's congruent to 3, sorry. It's congruent to, wait, sorry. Okay, I'm back. 25 is congruent to 3 mod 11. So therefore, 25 to the 51 is congruent to 3 mod 11. So therefore, its remainder when divided by 11 is equal to 3. Done. So as you can see here, we were kind of building a power tower here. And I'll show you why this formula is so useful. So for example, one of the similar problems that were used in a problem that was similar to the problems that were used in the modular arithmetic videos that I've made in the past is like let's say 3 to the power of 10 mod 4. If you wanted to find that, like what it's congruent to, then what we did in that video was we just tried to find like the smallest power of 3 that will be congruent to 1 mod 4. So for example, 3 squared is congruent to 1 mod 4 because 9 has a remainder of 1 when divided by 4. So starting from this, we kind of built an exponent. Like we did the same thing. We found the largest multiple of this exponent that's smaller than or equal to this, and then we completed the rest of the number by just multiplying the rest of the exponents by adding the remaining exponents. And here we had to find the basis. We had to look for the basis first. But here we are already provided with a basis. So this congruence equation about being congruent to 1 is so useful because you can just put it to any power and it will still be equal to 1, congruent to 1. So that's why these kind of equations are so useful. But this already gives you a basis for doing this method. So yeah, that makes it so useful. But then notice here, we can't really use this in this case because 4 is not a prime. But yeah, in most cases when the modulo is a prime, then yes, you can use this formula to build a power tower. Yeah. So yeah, that is how you use Fermat's little theorem. And actually, let's just do another problem to make things more straightforward. And should we make this easy? Nah. We're gonna do 2 to the power 148 to the power 148. What is the remainder? Find the remainder when 2 to the power of 148 is divided by 7. Okay, so again, pause this video and have a few minutes to work on this problem, and before I show you the solution. So the solution is, again, we're gonna start from FLT again. So 2 to the power of 7 minus 1, which is equal to 2 to the 6, will be congruent to 1 mod 7. Nice. And again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to set both sides to the same power to make this as close as possible to this. So the largest multiple of 6, that is smaller than or equal to 148, is 144. And 144 divided by 6. Actually, we're just going to skip this step. And so if we set both sides to a certain power, then since 144 is a multiple of 6, we're basically just setting both sides to a certain power. Wait. Yeah, to the power of 24. So if we set both sides to the power of 24, then we get 2 to the power of 144 here. And then we get 1 to the power of 24, which is just 1 again, as we would have expected. And then we have to fill the rest. So we just multiply 2 to the 4 to make this into this number. So multiplying 2 to the 4 to both sides, we get 2 to the 148 is congruent to 2 to the 4, which is equal to 16, which is congruent to, so mod 7, that will be congruent to 2. So we get that 2 to the 148 is congruent to 2 mod 7. So this means that when it's divided by 7, the residue will be equal to 2. So yeah, that is Fermat's little theorem and how to use it in these kind of problems. It's actually pretty useful. So yeah. So in this video, we looked at a theorem that deals with when the modulo is a prime. But there is another theorem called the Euler-Tushin theorem, and I think that video is in the number theory playlist as well. And that deals with modulos that can be any number. And it actually also can be used to prove Fermat's little theorem. So I strongly recommend you to look at that video too if this video was interesting. So yeah, thanks for watching and see you in other videos.